That's the written request that he sent in. The other items are not in your packet. A temporary event at the high school that Kristen ran for Special Olympics, and our temporary food event fee is $50. Their truck was not ready to be inspected for a street ice cream vending machine route. However, they had all the paperwork in order for it. But because I couldn't inspect the truck, we did them as a temporary food vendor for that event. And they asked that we apply that $50 towards their truck permit. So they completed all the paperwork and came in for their inspection in the middle of May, and sent with that a letter asking if we would allow the $50 they paid in March to us to be put towards the $100 fee for their ice cream.
So if the truck wasn't ready, what they used at the event?
They set up a table because it was inside Special Olympics event.
Oh, it was the indoor. Okay.
Yeah. But had they been an ice cream vendor, they would not have had to pay me for that event.
Yeah. So this is their first year in town as a mobile truck, or they?
I think years ago, the event, quite honestly, the only thing I didn't do is inspect his truck.
Okay, so now you...
So we have considered that.
Yep.
Yeah.
As long as they met all the other requirements. I think Eileen sent it because I wanted to see where we were tonight. The police chief, Darlene, the board, everyone will be notified as each new vendor comes on for ice cream. Mainly because they do have to go through quite a bit of background check.
Yep.
And based on that, we really only want the licensed vendors in our town. So
We don't want these fly-by-nights just driving in town. That's what happened before, is they must have been driving through town and saw some kids, so they pulled over, and that's what we have, because I think we fined them. Were you here when that happened? Was it Andy? Was it you? Yeah, we fined company for just...
Particular vendor, correct me if I'm wrong, Eileen, but this is for pre-packaged ice cream. Some vendors, some ice cream vendors might actually have soft serve on it. So then it becomes another layer that we have to make sure that we're getting monthly testing results, making sure that those are compliant, because as we know, the soft serve tests are really important. So Eileen's very good at making sure that everybody's up to date on those. But this one is for prepackaged only.
Okay.
Let me just make sure I get this right. She has sent out over 2,000 letters for licensing. So in the past several years, as you know, we did not have that as a full-time position, and we're fortunate to get it back to a full calls for people that maybe have, maybe the dog has passed, or if they've gone to a new home. So we've gotten a lot of calls. We've been able to update our town records on the dog situation. She is working closely with the town clerk because they come in to license through the town clerk's office. So at this point, we have almost 1,500 dogs have been licensed, and that was as of last week.
Is this I'm sorry, direct result of her letters, or is this a total count?
Well, a lot of records to update, but at least it's a start. Anything that's not current as of July 1st would get a delinquent fee. Okay. I also did want to pass on some good news that the animal control officer has completed her training. So she is a certified animal control officer, recognized by the state. So we're happy to report that. So she has been obviously quite busy in the short time she's been here. The contract for the solid waste is being reviewed and finalized. As you know, our 5-year agreement is up at the end of the month. We have chosen a solid waste provider for collection, and that's going to be Republic Services. The Solid Waste Advisory Committee has been doing a lot of work over the past year to work to get the best available contract. So we'll be able to give you, at the next meeting, we'll be able to give you hopefully a copy of the contract. Central Mass Mosquito Control, we are all of a sudden in summer. It kind of snuck up. In your packet, I think I gave you the Central Mass Mosquito Control. They send out their notifications. They have their certain days that they are in town to investigate any residents' complaints about mosquitoes, and that's also posted at the town clerk's office and online. So if somebody has, you know, some concerns about some standing water or wants to have their property sprayed, or on the flip side, if they want it to be excluded from spraying, they can also contact Central Mass Mosquito Control through the means that we have on the website, or if people don't have a computer. Within the past week and a half or so, it was a really nice program. They were looking to just kind of get some awareness, get some education out about it, and the Central Mass Lyme Foundation had come and provided a night. It was nice. And El Saeed, I think, was the coordinator. Very nice presentation. I think that it's good that people be aware that you know, Lyme disease is something that has you know, has expanded, to just be aware, to make sure that people are checking themselves for ticks, because it's just it's something that, if you're not paying attention to it, and you're not staying on top of it, and your kids and your pets, it's something that can really take over. So I just wanted to their update for bathing beaches, and they have here. We do have one beach in town, as you know, Auburn Sportsman's Club. Eileen has also opened that.
Century?
And,
Century?
Yes, Century Sportsman's Club.
Century, I'm sorry,
Okay.
did I say Auburn? I'm sorry,
That's okay.
Century. And, yeah, Century has the,
A new name when I call it.
yeah, Old Paula and New Paula.
Call it 2.0.
That's my name, New Power.